Welcome to the wonderful channel where books are discussed. Yes, there is a summary of this book too. If you're ready, let's get started.
Today, let us talk about one of the most influential and entertaining works in all of world literature, Don Quixote by Miguel de Cervantes. First published in two parts in 1605 and 1615, this novel is often considered the very first modern novel. It is a story that mixes comedy and tragedy, satire and philosophy, and, above all, it captures the timeless human struggle between dreams and reality. The story follows Alonso Quixano, an aging gentleman from a village in La Mancha, Spain. He spends most of his time reading old books about knights, chivalry, and heroic adventures. These tales of noble quests, battles against giants, and damsels in distress completely take over his imagination. Obsessed and delusional, he decides to become a knight himself, renaming himself Don Quixote de la Mancha. He believes his mission is to revive the age of chivalry, defend the helpless, and right the world's wrongs. But there's one problem. Knights and chivalry no longer exist. Spain has moved on. The medieval world is gone, and Don Quixote is living centuries too late. Still, he puts on an old suit of armor, mounts his weak horse Rocinante, and sets out in search of adventure. Every knight needs a squire, so he convinces a simple farmer, Sancho Panza, to join him. Sancho, unlike Don Quixote, is practical, earthy, and motivated by promises of reward. Don Quixote tells him that one day he might rule an island as governor if he stays loyal. Sancho, half believing and half amused, agrees, and together they form one of the most famous duos in literature. Early in their adventures comes one of the most iconic scenes of all time. Don Quixote sees a field of windmills and mistakes them for giant monsters. With his lance ready, he charges at them, only to be thrown to the ground when the windmill blades knock him off his horse. For us readers, it's hilarious, but for Don Quixote, it's deadly serious. He truly believes he is fighting giants. This scene has become symbolic worldwide. Tilting at windmills means fighting imaginary enemies or chasing impossible dreams. The novel continues with many such episodes. Don Quixote interprets ordinary inns as castles, peasants as noble ladies, and common travelers as dangerous foes. In his mind, he is always the brave knight on a righteous quest, but in reality, he often causes chaos, gets beaten, or embarrasses himself, and yet he never gives up. His faith in his ideals remains unshaken, no matter how many times he is knocked down. Sancho Panza plays the perfect counterbalance. While Don Quixote speaks in grand, poetic language about honor and destiny, Sancho uses earthy proverbs, jokes, and common sense. He often points out reality, but at the same time, he gets pulled into Don Quixote's fantasy world. Their friendship is both funny and deeply moving, shows the bond between dreamers and realists, between idealism and pragmatism. As the story develops, Cervantes adds a fascinating layer. The world around Don Quixote starts to react to him. Some people mock him, some take advantage of his madness, while others actually start to play along, treating him like the knight he believes himself to be. In this way, the novel becomes a reflection of how society treats dreamers, sometimes with cruelty, sometimes with admiration. In the second part of the novel, things get even more interesting. By this time, Don Quixote has become famous. People have read about his earlier adventures, and characters inside the novel are aware of his reputation. This metafictional twist makes the book feel modern, even today. Cervantes was playing with storytelling, blending fiction and reality in a way that still surprises readers. There's also a more serious tone in the second part. Don Quixote is older, weaker, and more aware of the world's harshness. The comedy is still there, but there's also a sense of sadness, a recognition that dreams cannot always survive reality. In the end, Don Quixote returns home. His health fails, and on his deathbed, he finally renounces the fantasies of knights and chivalry. He admits that his adventures were illusions, and he dies quietly as Alonso Quixano once again. This ending is powerful because it raises questions about the value of dreams. Was Don Quixote simply a fool, wasting his life on illusions? Or was he a hero, living by ideals in a world that had abandoned them? Maybe both are true. That's why the novel continues to resonate. It speaks to anyone who has ever chased a dream that seemed impossible. Cervantes' masterpiece is not only entertaining, it's a reflection on human nature, imagination, and the tension between reality and aspiration. Don Quixote shows us that even when dreams don't match reality, they give life meaning. His madness is tragic, but it's also beautiful. Without dreamers like him, the world would be dull, practical, and lifeless. So, what can we take away from Don Quixote today? We can laugh at his misadventures, but we can also admire his courage. We can see ourselves in his struggles between the ideals we hold and the reality we face. His story reminds us that sometimes being a little mad in pursuit of a noble vision might be the truest form of sanity. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Did you enjoy this summary of Don Quixote? What do you think? Was he a fool? Or was he a hero ahead of his time? And what lessons do you take from his adventures? Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to Fast Book Pod for more classic literature explained in just 10 minutes. Stay tuned. We've got many more masterpieces to explore together.
The summary of another book is finished. What did you learn from this book? Have you read it before? Please share your thoughts with us in the comments section. Don't forget to subscribe and like the channel.